this video, I'm going to talk about how Vegas could be in for a rough ride, the way the casinos are treating people and the profit model, and how they're not looking at the way that the internet has changed things. We're going to explore the last recession in this video and see what it did to Las Vegas. We're not really going to talk about the CV. I can't say the words or else I'll be demonetized, but we are going to touch upon how if something crazy did happen, like in the recession last time, how Vegas might be completely done for, and I hope it doesn't happen. My name's Steven. I'm a Vegas video blogger. I have been living in Vegas for the better part of 15 years. I took a brief stint to live in Lake Tahoe for a short period to do a project with a timeshare company years ago, but I've been here. I've been through it, through thick and thin, through everything, and I've seen the way the city has changed. If you like this video, I implore you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think you're going to take your entertainment dollar elsewhere? And I don't know, hit the bell for subscriptions. That's another thing. So this video I've been trying to make for a few days now. I see it like this. Vegas is eating its own tail. It's like a snake. A snake sees a tail, it thinks it's another snake, it starts eating its own tail. Since a snake is essentially one thing, it's going to start eating its own tail, and eventually it ends up looking like this. It looks like this. Okay, and it eats its own tail and it gets to its head. Is Vegas doing that? I don't know, but it seems like its business model is broken beyond repair at this point, possibly. Now, I don't want to see the casinos fail. We're going to talk about the internet in a minute. I have tried to work with the properties. I've sent them my very best videos, said, hey, this is what I have this great advisor who I can't tell you much about, but they have been guiding me on how to try to connect and how to try to grow the channel and giving me great content advice. And they said, go to the casinos, tell the casinos, hey, I'm a video blogger. I want to show the best parts of the casino to the audience. I want to show them the rooms. I want to show them the entertainment venues. Maybe we can go back behind the scenes and show this amazing food court that you spent $50 million on and why they should come here. The casinos come back and say that social media platforms are already set. Bloggers are not a part of it. That's a big problem. So the first problem is this, okay? If Vegas sees another recession, then we're going to get to the problem linked up to the last thing I said about the video aspect of it in the internet. During the 2009 2010 recession, Vegas saw visitorship drop 1.5 to 2 million people per year as people couldn't afford to travel as much. When they could afford to travel, they were taking trips closer to home that didn't involve Las Vegas. And when that happened, it caused the casinos to lay people off. And when that happened, it caused the local economy to take a nosedive. And when that happened, and unemployment shot up to over 13%, it caused the home values to drop. And when that happened, it caused the entire economy to be sucked into a black hole. And that's what happened during the recession. Now we're out of the recession. Lots of people across the country have more money to spend, and they all start coming back to Las Vegas. Discretionary income goes up, and the casinos decide that they can start charging more and more and more, and they start charging more resort fees. They start charging venue fees at places like Caesars. They start charging more and more money. And before you know it, it's gotten to a point where even though the CV is out there and it's looming like some kind of zombie apocalypse on the horizon and people are losing their minds, and I've been using hand sanitizer like this for years because I work on the Strip and there's just so many germs and I don't want to bring them home, that I can't even buy this or toilet paper or water. It's not in the water supply, people. This isn't some kind of plague that's going to infect us all. But that's the point we're at. So if we lose our minds and people stop coming here, what's going to happen? Wash, rinse, repeat what happened in the past. Well, that's a problem. And that's a problem because since 2009, 2010, since the advent of people having 2 or 3 or 4 of these devices, my gosh, I have one right in front of me. I was going to film on this and give me a hard time today. Point is, we have the internet. People are leveraging the internet. The internet is a bigger part of people's lives than ever. You want to find out something? You go and you consult this thing. You ask Alexa, you ask Siri, you ask Google, you go on the YouTubes, you find the video, you see what the destination's like. And I was saying this to my wife while we were watching travel blogs from the Philippines. I was saying to her, isn't it amazing people are discovering your country for the first time in ever time? Because time was, the only people that would go to the Philippines were Westerners that would go to places like Boracay and different big beach resorts that look just like Cancun, just like Florida, just like Miami, just like Hawaii. But now they're going and they're exploring, and they're realizing that even though you have to spend a few $1,000s to take an international flight overseas, you can go and sit down and buy a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi for 75 cents once you get there. You can buy a complete meal for $2 or $3, and it's good quality food. You can see some amazing stuff, and guess what? There's no resort fees. People aren't nickel and diming you. The hospitality is there. The hospitality aspect is a big thing. That's what used to drive Las Vegas. People who live here and who are older folks will tell you it was better when the mob run the casinos. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true, and here's why. You ever heard the term 86? Like, I've been 86'd out of the casino? Yeah, that term apparently means driven 8 miles into the desert and buried 6 feet underground. I don't know if that's true, but that's just a rumor that I heard. So, back in the day, if you misstepped, you wouldn't just be kicked out of a casino like you are right now, read a trespass card and told not to come back, or else Metro's going to put you in prison for trespassing. You were taken out into the middle of nowhere and you disappeared. Now, it didn't happen to regular folks. Let's just be serious here. But it was a thing where people remember the human aspect of it, and they liked the human aspect of it. And now there's so many other travel destinations. The first thing we do is we pick this up and we consult it and we look at it and we find somebody that we like and we think, do I trust this person? And that person represents that destination. Beyond Pad Thai is a channel that did some Vegas videos, and I really like her Vegas videos because she's got this really cool, humble human aspect about it. And that's the kind of person that's going to influence people to travel. So if we get to the point where the economy goes down and we suffer into a giant recession, or we get to the point where the CV causes people to lose their minds and people are literally running in panic through the streets, and big huge Costco brawls are breaking out, whether or not there's serious legitimate concern for those things, when people run out of money, they don't go to Las Vegas. When people don't go to Las Vegas, they don't pay your resort fees. And when you don't get your resort fees paid and your profit streams have dried up because people can't afford to go to a Bruno Mars concert for $200 a ticket, or people can't afford to go to a Golden Knights game for $300 or $400 a ticket, or the Raiders games. Okay, let's be honest. People are still going to go to the Raiders games. That's just the way that's going to be. For $1,000 rumored price that I heard on the tickets. When people can't frequent your town anymore, you're going to have problems. The snake is eating its tail, and they don't see the writing on the wall, or they do see the writing on the wall, and they're doing things like MGM's doing right now, where they sell the property that they're in to a landowner who can afford it, who can weather the storm, who can pull themselves through what might be coming, and they just hope that they have enough equity sitting in their coffers like Ford did before the last recession. Did you know that Ford was the only American car manufacturer that didn't take a loan from the federal government? It just so happened that a few years before the giant crash happened, and before General Motors and Chevy's profit models dried up, sorry about my asthma, their profit models being, we're going to finance this car and nearly sell it at a loss to you, Ford took hundreds of millions of dollars of private loans. And people said Ford were crazy, but they had the money not to take government bailouts. So if these casinos are selling these properties and making this money happen and trying to maximize and push their profits because they see something that's happening writing on the wall, like a small business that sees that there may be problems in their industry, so they decide that they're going to get some money in the bank to weather the storm, if that's what they're doing, that sucks. But going back to my first point that I touched upon in this video, I reached out to the casinos. I have a great advisor who just seems to want me to do really, really well. He's never asked me for a quid pro quo. He's never done any of that kind of crazy stuff. And he had me reach out and he coached me through the emails. And I reached out to several casino properties. I showed them the best videos that I did. And I said, I am sick and tired of hiding behind the camera with a little GoPro. Let me show you the best. Let me show the world through your eyes what you want to talk about. As long as I can keep it fairly much not like a commercial so I can give the goods and the bads, I would be happy to do that. I'm not going to rail on your company and say bad things about you. Let me show everything to the world for you. They came back with no, that's okay. We don't see that social media. We have our social media. We don't see the blogs are a part of our strategy. And that's where they left it. they don't see the way the world works right now. They see what they see. And I hate to rail against Wall Street. I think it's complete garbage. I think it's bogus. I hate to rail against big companies because I think capitalism is great, but I just don't see that they get it. And if they don't get it, we're going to have to get it as regular people. We're going to have to take our travel dollars and go somewhere else. We're going to have to weather the storm on our own. And that might mean less trips to Vegas. And I really hope that's not what it means, because I love this city. I believe in this town. I think it's a great place. I think that there's a lot of benefits to coming to this place. Even though it's gotten more and more expensive, I think that if you plan it out right and you watch channels like myself and other YouTube channels, you can find yourself in a good place on vacation here. So those are my thoughts on the current profit models of casino properties in Vegas. And that's my thoughts on what might happen if anything slips again. I appreciate you guys watching this video, liking, sharing, subscribing. If you commented during the video, if you want to be in the credits of my video, you can head on over to Patreon. Pledge anything, $1, $5. 5 helps more than 1, but 1 still gets you in the credits for the video. Help support small YouTubers that you like. Make sure that you at least comment, like, and share, and subscribe to their channels. And I'll talk to you guys in another video. It'll be more positive. And on the next video, because most of you will never get to this spot in the video, my viewership drops off, I'll actually be outside. See, it was too windy today, and I got terrible wind tearing noises no matter what I tried. So I'm going to log off now, tell you you're awesome for watching, and we'll talk to you guys in another video. So 3, 2, 1 to the credits. You ready? 3, 2, 1, click.